Okay, we certainly won't be bringing people back from the dead again.
Darn.
Darn.
Wild times, man.
Wild times. Welcome back to the TYF Debrief. This is episode number 2, where we talk about The Flash, season 2, episode 2, The Flash of Two Worlds, as reviewed by my friend Allie Johnson.
Hi.
And then I reviewed, literally finished minutes ago, Arrow, season 4, episode 2, The Candidate. Probably one of the most soap opera-y episodes we've seen thus far.
Since season 1.
Since season 1.
Not
to say that it was bad, but we'll get to it. We tend to start with The Flash because it aired first, and Arrow is usually fresher in our minds. So you want to start with thoughts on what's going on with The Flash and City?
Well, The Flash, it continues on with Jay Garrick's appearance, and it's kind of just about getting Barry to trust him, since everybody else is kind of trusting him really easily. And learning about, like, the breaches in the world and the 52 breaches, aka, like, the 52 Earths and whatnot. And in retrospect, and I should have really caught on when I was writing my review, and I was writing about how much I loved it, but I really loved this episode. Like, I think it was one of my favorites that I've seen of the series so far, because, and I know it's kind of like beating a dead horse at this point when I say it, but, I mean, it really embraces its comic book lore. Like, it was maybe the most, and I hate, like, out of all the comic book movies I've seen, all the comic book series I've seen, I feel like this episode was the most comic book-ish episode I've seen of any show, period. Like, it felt like it was just embracing everything.
You know what's funny is I was scrolling through my Facebook feed after the episode had aired, and the official Flash page shared some kind of post that was showing just how exactly they mimicked one of those old comic book covers where Jay Garrick and Barry Allen. Yeah, I thought that the delivery of that line where the two of them turn around, they're like, "I'm coming, because I'm the Flash." I'm like, this is weird and goofy. It's like an homage to something. As it turns out, it was.
It was cute.
I'm trying to find that. Oh, you know what? There's like a screen cap that somebody commented on Facebook right here, and I could share it for the sake of video. But yeah, as you were saying, it's the most comic book-y that the show has been so far. I especially liked the kind of you know what I loved was I knew all that much about Jay Garrick and his version of the Flash and Zoom or any of that, but I really liked that version of Central City. It looks very Art Deco.
It looks kind of futuristic too, which is funny because, I mean, it's just supposed to be an alternate universe, but yeah, it looked very, like, stylized and, like, almost postmodern. I don't know.
I'm sharing the image right now. I'm sharing the image right now here.
Yeah.
Where the two of them are just running. They're like both coming on either side of, what is that, platform 9 3/4 or something?
Harry Potter joke in a Flash podcast. Ace work. But so I guess this is a good segue to talk about Jay Garrick and Teddy Sears' performance as him. Like, what did you think? Did you like him?
I think that I don't really know the actor very well, but I think for the look of that character, and I like the design of the costume. It looks something like the Rocketeer, and when you look at it with the coat, the Soup Bowl helmet doesn't look quite as goofy. I think that the guy is built in just the right way, like his physique, that the costume is pulled off on screen. I feel like if Grant Gustin was wearing that costume, it might look a little dorky.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked Jay Garrick. I thought it was a good contrast to Barry, because Jay seems oddly kind of old school. You know what I mean? Like, there's kind of a classic vibe going to him. Maybe it's because he punctuated every sentence with kid, but
yeah.
It's funny to think that in his world he's only been the Flash for 2 years, and yet he already seems like he's so much more comfortable in the role. But so yeah, I liked him. I'm curious to see how long he sticks around.
Or if there's going to be a third Flash in the fold. Do you think that's too much?
Well, I mean, there's rumors of Wally West.
Yeah. So
So
you got a past, present, future-ish kind of Flash.
yeah, so
Not that Jay Garrick is technically a past Flash, but
yeah, in the
yeah.
comics he's passed.
Yeah,
But
but his universe feels like it's the past, you know.
yeah, exactly. Not to jump ship really quick, but how about Patty? Because I liked her, but I've seen a lot more of people who weren't so keen on her. At the very least, I think the actress, what's her name, Chantel Stanton. I
Hmm.
think she did really well. She was charming, but I don't know if it's just because people are weary of the idea of having like a Felicity 2.0, maybe.
I don't think it's a Felicity 2.0. I think it's one of those goofy. It's similar to the Olicity thing where it's something getting in the way of the main character and their initial love interest that people go crazy over. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's weird. Like it's almost like they hate seeing Barry be happy. I did find that the two of them seem to have really good chemistry, and I follow Grant Gustin on like social media, and he seems
Yeah.
to have there seems to be something more that goes on between the two of them since they've continued filming scenes together.
Well, I wouldn't think that they would introduce her and have her just be on the task force.
Oh, absolutely, but
Obviously, she's going to be a love interest this season, mainly because I don't think the show wants to get Iris and Barry together quite yet. But it's not like, it's not like how it was in Arrow where Laurel and Oliver and the actors just clearly had zero chemistry. It just did not work. So when Felicity did come along, it was like, oh, these two really work. Maybe we can
most of the acting in Arrow,
diverge.
everybody's talking to a brick wall, it seems, but we'll get to that.
At least it when Felicity came along, they were like, we can diverge from the path of the comics. Whereas here, it's like Iris and Barry do have a nice chemistry. The actors do work well together. So I don't know, maybe there's just gonna be more pushback. You know what I mean? But I liked her. I liked their little Monty Python moment where they
Yeah,
floating. Wasn't that it?
I thought that was yeah, it was like a weird. It was the bridge crossing bit
Yeah.
from Monty Python. It was just so out of left field. I like that Barry's a fan of Monty Python. I just thought the delivery of the two of them, like, oh yeah, it's cool. You've come across a girl that appreciates Monty Python. And I'm like, yeah, this was weird. It just seemed out of it. Just in the moment that it was happening, where it was like, they were trying to solve a crime there. I don't know. They could have done something a little different, but she's goofy like he can be goofy. So it's nice to see that. I think that's good for him, especially because the rest of this entire episode, Barry spends all of his time brooding because he can't trust Jay because he hadn't trusted Wells.
Okay. I'm going to defend Barry here really quick because I know a lot of people are annoyed by it, but it makes sense.
It did make sense. Once he got to have say his piece about it, I'm like, that was a good decision. It made sense.
Wouldn't it have been more annoying for the season to happen after Wells completely screwed with them for however long and have all of them be completely fine? Like, Cisco doesn't even want to admit to his powers because Wells is the one who says, he gave them to him and it's messed with him. Like, I feel like they need to be seen, recovering from being screwed over so much and, for having their lives pretty much torn apart by the end. So I think it makes sense. And, I don't think Barry's going to be like this the entire season.
No.
So that's, again, it's why I can get through an episode of it because it's like, whatever, let him have his angst. He's recovering. It's fine.
Yeah.
But,
I think people just get put off on moments where characters get angsty until the moment where you realize exactly why.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, just have some patience. Like, this is a superhero show. You have things to, entertain you in between the dialogue. It's not like it's going to drag you down. Which, I wanted to make sure I got to this with you because I felt like you'd be the other person who would be, freaking out with me. Him hurling lightning was, my favorite part of the episode.
Yeah, I saw that you posted about that. I kind of took it for what it was, where it was like, oh, cool, he's getting more powers. That's...
Oh, I thought it was so cool. I was like, this is such a hero moment. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it would have been more of a the payoff of it was cool. I mean, it was kind of like a whole him training with Garrick turns into Ex Machina for the episode. But I felt like if it was with a cooler villain, it could have been that much better. I thought that the Flash's villain was a little The
I just had to
basically,
think about
basically
Sandman.
Spider-Man. Basically,
yeah.
What's this guy's name?
However, like, let's be honest, the effects and the acting around this version of Sandman is just as good as the version of Sandman we saw in Spider-Man 3.
Well, that's not Thomas Hayden Church's fault, is it?
I know. You defend that one part of the story. We'll get past it. But yeah. So, what about overall thoughts? Wells at the end.
I'm always happy to see more Harrison Wells.
I feel like it's gonna screw with people. Like
yeah. Do you think audiences are gonna get like weirded out by the fact that we got 2 timelines going on simultaneously?
Possibly.
Do you think people that aren't in the whole that didn't grow up on Back to the Future are going to be thrown off by all these concepts?
Maybe, but I feel like anybody who's watching likely had a Back to the Future type experience or film.
I would
hope
at
least
so.
Like a Matrix, like something that has prepped them for multiple like universes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it will be fine. I think the only thing to worry about is maybe getting overstuffed. But I think the show's done such a good job with that so far that I'm not that worried. But again, I think the show is so good. And it's only been 2 episodes. Maybe everything can go really downhill from here. But I think it's off to a really good start. And just seeing Wells at the end, makes it even better.
So, thoughts on our first glimpses of Zoom before we kind of talk about other stuff?
I don't have many thoughts. I want to see more, I guess, before. Like, he seems imposing, but, it's easy to make a shadow threatening. Sorry.
Well, but I'm just the costume threw me off because I'm thinking, well, this is literally just a black version of the exact same costume that the Reverse Flash wears and that the Flash himself wears. So could he be either of these 2 people, or could it like where does this costume come from? At what point does this costume begin and end?
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I feel like they're going to need to do something to differentiate it a bit for Reverse Flash, other than just being Flash, the fastest man alive.
And
we have a lot of those right now.
And then another thing is, I'm hoping that this season doesn't have this this villain of the week kind of feature, because I know that the plot currently is Zoom throwing these guys into Barry in attempts to kill him.
I mean, last year it was a villain of the week.
But you always expect that from a season 1 show.
I think you have to expect it from a superhero show, in all honesty, or any kind of procedural. I mean, maybe they won't. Maybe we'll have a couple episodes where, it's a little bit more serialized. But I always expect hero of the week. I expect with Arrow.
Yeah, and I felt bad for Cisco in this episode. I didn't expect that these that the powers in him, like, once he started realizing exactly what it was, he uses it great, but he's genuinely terrified.
Yeah, and I think that makes it more interesting, in all honesty, because of all characters to be totally not okay with having powers, to have it be Cisco.
Right, because Cisco's the guy he's in love with. He's like, fanboy is the word for everybody with a superpower, even the bad guys. He comes up with names for all of them. He builds all back. It kind of throws him for a loop as a character. So that should be.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how it all plays out. I guess I really do anticipate these episodes each week. I really look forward to them. So
yeah,
we'll see. Next week, Captain Cold's back. So
yeah. So, with his pop, his popsicle.
So I haven't, since you just posted it, I haven't actually gotten the chance to read your Arrow review yet. Were you not a fan, or?
You know what? I enjoyed the okay, so basically we have 3 plots for this episode of Arrow. We have the new villain introduced, who will become a character named Anarchy. I think the character's name is Meechan. And Dark is hired by him because an old friend of Thea and Oliver's mother, can't remember the character's name, but the actress used to be on some Star Trek Voyager. She was on Star Trek Voyager. but she wants to run for Star City Mayor, and obviously Damien Dark doesn't want anybody with any kind of pure heart in any kind of powerful position in the city. So he hires this guy, and I really like I mean, he was kind of like melodramatic, sleazy kind of guy that you'd see on like a soap opera serial killer kind of. But I like that he was a foil to Damien Dark, and this particular episode, I find that I enjoy Neil McDonough's performance because every time he gets to have this crazy little monologue where he just really chastises somebody, you find that he's evil, but he is a calculated evil, and that he's got something about him where he's pragmatic, and in that way, I like him, despite the fact that he's a villain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which I have a question for you about him, but I don't know if I should wait for more talking about like the meat of the storyline a bit. But have you seen theories that he's Felicity's dad?
I haven't seen.
I don't know if that's true. I have like I really
honestly,
would have
if that came out of left field, I'd be like bullshit.
Well, I mean, they've been teasing him kind of, and with his whole like don't mess with people's families or whatever. But again, it's such a reach to think that, but it's something that I've seen thrown out in like comments and stuff. So I didn't know if you had heard of it.
Honestly, I didn't even think about. I forget that Felicity even had a mom, and then I remember what she was like, and I almost wonder, would Damien Dark marry someone like that?
Before you learn to banter. But yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out there really quick. I read it and I was like, what?
That's an interesting theory. I would have to see some kind of backing up on that. But so our plot B, that Felicity finally gets to do something on her own, and I think that was really fun. I thought she got to do the whole she got to be smart. She got to be she got to be the quirky smart person that we got to know in the first couple of seasons that we
enjoy
enjoy, right? But now it's an evolution because she gets to be in a position of power, and the whole Palmer Tech thing, losing the jobs, just another thing of articulating the status of the city as it basically becomes Gotham. But through this, we meet the new character, Mr. Holt. So not only is he gay and African-American, so progressive, right? But he's got to be somebody quite terrific. Mr. Terrific.
Let's be careful with ticking those progressive boxes on Arrow. They have a little bit more to go. But I understand.
They went for a 2-in-1 on a superhero character, so, or potentially future superhero character. So.
I know. I just like that his name's Mr. Terrific.
Honestly, I don't. Can I just Google him right now? I have no idea who he is.
Neither do I.
Who's this guy?
The actor was also on You're the Worst these last 2 weeks, so I've been watching it, and I'm like,
oh, you reviewed that one too?
Yeah, I was like. I'm like, I totally recognize this guy, and he plays like such a douchebag on You're the Worst that I really had to think about it because he was so charming on this, and I feel like he's gonna be such a good person to play off of Felicity's kind of playfulness because I feel like she even has to talk him down.
I liked how she like snapped back at him that only I get to speak in fragmented sentences.
I know. I thought that was cute. So I like their storyline.
I'm trying to look at Mr. Terrific here. He seems to be a pretty tech-based hero character with some kind of leather jacket. He's got like magic orbs or something. I don't know.
Stop spoiling. Maybe this will all happen this season.
I literally am like speaking in vague terms. I don't know. He could be cool.
He already is cool.
Did you like how Oliver is basically, when he's not Arrow, he's being stay-at-home dad?
Still, yeah. I really do. Okay, like, it's kind of hilarious how Oliver is this season's comic relief because everything else is so dark or people are so moody and gloomy, and, like, he's just kind of sometimes, like, making dad jokes about, like, oh, I didn't bring my, like, so-and-so with me. Like, I forget what it was.
Well, what I distinctly remember was, here's your first day as a boss, Fern, and a packed lunch.
It's so cheesy, but I was also like, you're so great.
As somebody who doesn't describe things as adorable. I would
It was
admit
adorable.
it was pretty
Fucking cute.
It was funny.
But yeah, no, I think I'm loving dad joke Oliver.
Dad joke Oliver.
I think it's fantastic.
The dad arrow.
Yeah, I think it's great. Again, especially just because, like, you know, Thea's raging, Diggle's still not trusting people, and Laurel's digging up her dead sister.
And that was our C plot for the episode, and you pretty much just summarized it right there. How'd you feel about the whole? Were you called out last week how Thea like yells at these guys like, "Get out of here!"
Yeah.
Oliver, after she breaks that homeless guy's arm, Oliver yells it to her exactly the same way. I almost wonder if he was making fun of the way she said that. He's like, "Get out of here!"
I think that was just his voice.
But
yeah, no, I think
she literally she lights a dude on fire.
I know. I don't think she meant to do that, though. Wasn't that kind of just an accidental? She went to, like, electrocute him, and he had been falling in the
I don't know. But I'm glad that they're finally getting in this episode. I thought one of the best moments, like I said, these people, some of the acting in the show, it's like they're talking to a brick wall. But at least the content in this particular plot with Thea, I find, is some of the more rich things going on in the season so far.
Especially that they didn't drag it out. If they had done this for 5 more episodes, I'd been like, obviously something is wrong. Like, you guys are heroes.
I really like the sequence in the middle where they're going back into the cave after she breaks the dude's arm. And he's like, "Hey, what the frick was that?" And he's like trying to you basically
fight her.
Through his actions, he's showing how much his training is different from the training that Malcolm gave her and what the pit did to her. And it was kind of a nice refresher once he actually admits it, because he's trying to move on with the rest of his life. But reviving her in the Lazarus pit, that's something that nobody else really knew, and I kind of forgot about that.
I know, me too.
Malcolm really knew about that. So it's an interesting thing for him as a character where he's trying to move on and he's still keeping secrets in a way that he had before.
Yeah, and I like that. I really liked when Laurel found out that she did not judge Oliver at all. She was more like, "I can't believe I can do that." You know what I mean?
She was more like, "I can't wait to do it myself."
Yeah, well, I thought that was like a really, like, it's so true to the character, and it's something that both Laurel and Oliver have in common. They're both, you know, they're older siblings, and I think that see them both be like, "You're damn right, I'm gonna, you know, travel across the world and throw you in a pit to make you come back to life," you know? So I think it's interesting. But I'm wondering if, because it's obviously going to happen to Sarah, if anybody's seen The Legends of Tomorrow.
Well, here's the thing is, so now they're going, Thea and Laurel are going on a road trip to figure this stuff out, and they dig up Sarah's zombified body.
Which was kind of like, ugh, for a 8 o'clock show.
Yeah. So what I wonder is when they get to the not Lian-Yu, whatever this other place with the crazy Tibetan name is,
Nanda
Parachutes. I don't know. So will Nyssa appear when they go to do this, and will she help them or try to not help them?
I feel like she won't try to help them because I feel like they need an obstacle, but I'm pretty sure she's going to be there. Like, why not bring back that character, you know?
Right. I don't know how that character would take the whole trying to revive Sarah angle, especially.
I'm excited for it to just be like an all-female plot, though, next week, with just Thea, Laurel, Nyssa, and potentially Sarah.
Would you be really angry if it was all off screen? It wouldn't be off screen because they have to set up like,
Sarah. It was all Malcolm. Oh my god, I'd like break my TV. But yeah.
But my God, Sarah will be coming back from the dead for a 4th time.
You know what I was wondering?
4th!
Okay, but this time she's actually dead and she's coming back. Everybody else just thought she was dead before. But I'm wondering if it's going to be like a Buffy type shit. You know, when like Buffy was like dead and they brought her back thinking she had been in hell and she's like, "No, I was really happy. Thanks, guys."
Like, guess what? I was in heaven.
I know.
You guys pulled me back into this shit.
I know. So I'm wondering if they'll do something similar. But I think it's just going to be prepping for her to be like, "I need to go off and do my own thing." And then she's in Legends of Tomorrow. So, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited. I just, more female superheroes. Can't complain.
I saw a Supergirl ad on the football game on Thursday.
It's really good. You're gonna have to watch it. It's gonna be on Monday, so we'll have a good rundown going. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Cool.
Really good.
I'm gonna probably have to catch up on all of those on Wednesday because I'm working. Anyway,
well,
so
that's not next week. It's the week after.
So I didn't get to talk about this in my review. Diggle's little reveal in his stakeout with Laurel. First of all, Laurel was hilarious in that scene because she was she had the munchies basically.
She was broing. Yeah.
She was broing with Diggle. But Diggle's reveal there kind of came out of left field, huh?
No.
That his brother got killed?
That was from the first season. And he knew that Deadshot was the one who did it. And he knew that he had been hired by somebody. And there's been pieces of Hive for the last couple seasons. But I'm also, like, keyed in on this stuff. I know more about the DC lore than I think you do, surprisingly. But
yeah, you are.
So, I mean, it's not out of left field, but it definitely hasn't been talked about much in the last couple, like, episodes. Or, like, even the last season. So, yeah. So
but hey, I know about Booster Gold. I'm a fan of Booster Gold.
Aren't we maybe getting a movie of him?
If we are, it damn well better be Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, I think I've read that. Nathan Fillion is not at peak superhero. Physicality. Let's be honest here. But
he doesn't need to be. He's Captain Hammer. The hammer is my penis.
What?
Captain Hammer. Never mind. We're moving on. Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog isn't DC.
Oh, I fell asleep during that.
It's only 40 minutes.
I know. It really
Wow. Okay. So yeah, the final bit for the episode, Oliver's gonna run for mayor. It was almost kind of House of Cards-y.
I'm not this first. I think that's kind of in line with his comic book character too, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. But I mean, it makes sense. Like, I don't think he's necessarily smart enough to run for mayor.
And he can't keep spending Felicity's money buying trucks.
I know. I thought that was funny. But
get some of that city money to fund the Arrow. The Arrow basically become public.
I think the part that makes sense is the fact that he can protect himself. He can go out there and do it, and he could, like, try to mess with me. Like, good luck. So I think it's interesting, and I like the humor that's being brought into the season. I don't know. I like it. It's only, whereas the 2 episodes of The Flash, I feel like I can get a good sense of where the season's going.
We're not sure with Arrow.
I'm not that sure with Arrow yet, because I feel like they're still kind of settling in with the new tone. You know, it's like it's such a drastic shift in what the series has been. It really
is. The action is so much more punchy and quippy.
Yeah. So which again, I like.
In the first minute with him shooting the arrow and she rides down on the zip line.
I loved that.
That was my geek out moment for the week.
Yeah. Okay, mine was the lightning. Yours was that, but I thought that was pretty cool.
I mean, the lightning totally beats that one, but you know, it's fun. It's fun to. I like because I am a fan of the Whedoning stuff, and I grew with all the Avengers crossover stuff. I like when characters get to play in a sandbox together and do cool stuff.
Yeah, like even when all 4 of them came crashing through the ceiling.
I thought that was ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. And so the reply of "Have you ever heard of a door?" was awesome.
I don't care. I loved it. But yeah. So there's that.
All we needed was like a 1, 2, 3, 4, go Teen Titans.
Hey now, Teen Titans Go is kind of hilarious.
Well, but like it was like a Teen Titans moment where it was
But okay. So any last thoughts? I guess. I think I just said mine. I like it that it's funny. I'll see if it settles into itself a little bit better.
I think this episode was a pretty decent balance, despite a primary plot that was kind of reminiscent of season 1 soap opera. It had moments of really good comedy. The Thea storyline was dark enough. Again, Neil McDonough, great.
Great.
The guy who would be Anarchy character is a little melodramatic. I think they're setting him up for something else though, because obviously he survives. And Lance is as grumpy as ever.
Yep.
So, Arrow is dun 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 dun.
Dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun?
Dun, dun.
I'm so confused, but I'm going with it. But okay, so yeah, make sure to check our reviews out on the Young Folks. Both of them are up.
Yep.
They're probably pretty good.
Yeah.
And we'll link to our podcast in those too, just to make things easier. And yeah, check back with us next week.
Yeah.
Right? We'll be back.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Supergirl in not this upcoming week, but the one afterwards.
Yeah.
So things are about to get a little crazy.
The episode after next of this, we'll be talking about
Supergirl
as well. So these might run a little longer than 30 minutes. So cool.
All
right. Bye-bye. Follow us.
Bye.
Bye.